Guys, what's up? Okay, so as you know, there are a ton of different ways to become a professional soccer player, and going through college, getting your education, getting a scholarship to play at a university is a great way to do it. It is what I did, and it helped me along the way to become a pro. And today we're going to talk about some actual steps, some things that you guys can do to give yourself a bit of a direction. That way you guys can sift through all the madness and all the stuff that's out there, and we can try to condense that just to a few steps. That way you guys can make some forward progress, okay? All right, so this video is going to be in two parts, and what we did is we did a lot of the research. We talked to some of the top coaches and guys that are recruiting players to see what it is that they wanted from the recruits. All right, so let's get some of the obvious stuff out of the way very quickly. Getting good grades is definitely going to be a big help. It's not the end of the world if your grades aren't amazing, but that will limit your choices considerably if you are failing all of your classes. That should be obvious. So the approach that we're taking is that I'm going to assume that you want to be a pro someday, eventually. And going to college is not going to stop you from doing that by any means. Now, if you do want to be a pro, obviously playing at the highest level, just like playing at the highest level as a kid, is going to benefit you. So the same applies to college. If you can get to a Division I school, you're going to be seen a bit more. You're going to have more exposure, and you're going to be playing against better competition. All of those things are going to benefit you. It does not mean, though, if you go to a Division II, III, or NAIA school, that you are not going to become a pro. It doesn't mean that at all. Also, if you're not from the US, but you're interested in coming over to play, make sure you pay attention, especially towards the end. There are a lot of options and different things available to you guys, and I'm going to make sure to list those so you guys know exactly what you can do and how to get the process started. All right, so let's check out some quick facts. That way you guys know what you're dealing with. So in the 2013-2014 school year, there were 417,419 high school soccer players and only 37,890 college players. And so when you account for all of the foreigners that come over to play, that means only about 9.1% of high school players actually are able to play in college. And that gets cut down even more when we start talking about college players that then become pros and so on. The reason I'm telling you this is not to scare you by any means. It's to show you that you have to be proactive in your search, that you're gonna have to go on these visits, that you're gonna have to email these coaches or call these coaches and make sure that you give yourself the best opportunity to be seen and to get recruited. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have some more ways to pick up some more money, a better scholarship, and have a little bit more of a chance to go to the school that you want to go to, because that is the goal. All right, so as with most things, if you prepare, it will be a whole lot easier for you. There is nothing worse than that guy or girl that is a huge mess, especially when you get a chance to meet the coaching staff.
All right, Coach, we're setting goal, solid at the back, very experienced in the midfield, and all we're looking for is that striker position there.
I think the recruit coming in will be able to help us out there.
Yeah, come on in.
Coach, thanks for having me.
So, why do you want to be a part of the U of SOSOC?
You know,
Did you send your transcripts over already?
yeah, you should probably.
Do you have a highlight video?
Yeah, that's not gonna cut it. So let's see what it is we need to prepare to make sure we're ahead of the game, all right? Woo! All right, so taking the NCAA Division I as our example, the average roster size is 28 players and only 9.9 scholarships. There's 14 for the girls, but only 9.9 for the guys. And what that means is that the average scholarship only covers about 35% of the cost to go to the school, which is not nothing, but you definitely like to see that number go way up. So some of you may be already getting recruited, and that is great, but there may be some of you guys that are flying just under the radar. What you need to remember is that competition is very, very high when we're talking about all these schools and all the players in the country and as well as outside of the country that are trying to get into these few spots. All right, so we want everything to be very simple and very presentable because we want you to stand out and we want you to catch the coach's attention because they are bombarded with emails and requests for their time and to see different players, and especially at those top schools, there are obviously only very few spots available. So what you want to do is make a very good first impression, and that's what's going to get you the best response. You're of course going to need a CV, and a CV is just information about you. You don't want to overload it with too much stuff. You just want to get the things in there that you think might be interesting to the coach or the coaching staff. Right now, just for time, I'm just going to talk about the important things that should be on the CV. If you want to see a mock-up of a CV, then go to thewilljohn.com. I'll put a link here or maybe down in the description box, and you can check that out for yourself, okay? But the CV should contain just your name, your height, your weight, the position that you play, the team that you play for, the college showcases that you are going to. First, your soccer accomplishments, and then of course some other accomplishments that you've had off the field. Make sure to list if you're bilingual or trilingual. Maybe you can hold your breath underwater for like 800 minutes or something. I have no idea. But little tidbits like that may help you stick out. Woo! So you are also going to need a video, and hopefully you have very, very good quality video, because that's something that the coaches are going to use in order to get an idea of you as a player. If you do not know exactly how to put together a video, I'm going to link to a video, maybe a college recruitment video. I'll put it here or maybe down in the description box, like I said earlier. For the CV, same thing, and you can check it out. All right, so just to give you guys a couple of ideas of what to put in your video, what you want to do is keep it, for the most part, less than 5 minutes. There's no need to have a 20-minute or 15-minute or 10-minute video, especially for this, because you're just trying to get interest in you. You're trying to get the coach to see that you have quality and that you have talent and that you would be someone that could benefit the program. So what you want to do is put your best goals up front, your best tackles if you're a defender, your best saves if you're a goalie. Put that up front. Don't expect that the coach is going to sit there throughout your entire video. Just try and think of how many videos and how many people that the coach has to sift through just to find out who he wants to put in his program. Woo! You need to be able to choose the schools that you have an interest in. And when you're getting ready to contact these schools, depending on your age, it's probably best that you start with just 5 to 10, and then you can gauge from then on. There's no need to pick 50 schools to send a ton of emails to and try and contact or call. It's not your goal to just spam people with information about yourself. You want to be very selective about what you're trying to do. So like I said earlier, if you do go to an NCAA Division I program, you may be putting yourself in a little bit of a better position, because theoretically you're playing against better players and there's a little bit more notoriety from the agents and scouts. But I have to reiterate again, you guys, it really doesn't matter, okay? At the end of the day, it's going to be down to your skills, how you develop as a player, whether or not you're going to be able to make that jump from college to pro. Woo! So if you're high school age or about to be in high school, what you really need to do is make an effort to go to these college showcases with your club team or with whatever team that you can, because coaches don't have time to go and see individual games all the time. What they will do is go to these showcases where they can see a whole lot of players. And what's really important for you, and what has been stressed over and over from every college coach that we spoke to, was that you need to make things easy for them. So you need to let them know where you're playing, what number you are, what position you are, what time you're going to graduate from high school, okay? All of these things make it easy for them. That way they know where you're playing, they know who you are. Make sure to let them know before the tournaments, and that's going to be a huge help to you in the future in making sure that you get a chance to be seen by these guys. All right, so if you don't have a team that is going to college showcases, that's not a huge problem. There are other ways for you to get in front of the coaches and make yourself known. And one of those are college camps, sometimes called college ID camps. Now, most colleges have their own camps, and the reason for this is that it gives them a chance to see a whole bunch of players as they grow. You can usually go to these camps from a very young age, and it allows you to actually open up a dialogue with the coaches and have an idea of what they think about you for the future. So that is something that you are really going to have to try and do. Woo! So for you guys outside of the US, you can use all of the information that we've already provided if you want to contact the school or the coaching staff yourself. But what I want you guys to remember is that your video has to be excellent, because coaches do not have an opportunity to come see you over there, wherever it is that you are, and that is going to make things a whole lot easier for you if they see that you have quality. So please make your video quality if you want to go about this yourself. So what you may find easier than going about it all by yourself are some of these companies that get foreign players scholarships. All right, so just a few words about a couple of the companies that I think you should check out. I'm not being paid at all to promote these companies. I'm not receiving anything from them. I just think that you guys should check them out because they've been successful and I like the format that they have, and I think that's easy and simple. So one of those is Pass for Soccer, and they've been around since about 2006, and they've put a ton of different guys in colleges all over the country. And what I really like is that when you check them out, you will see exactly what is going to be provided for you, exactly what you're going to pay, and that makes things a whole lot easier for you and your family, knowing that you can get a specific service and what you're going to have to pay for that. So on the less expensive side of the companies, you'll be spending about $1,000 just for their services alone, and more towards the upper end, you'll be spending $3,000 to $4,000, and that's just for their services. So you need to make sure that it makes sense for you. But remember, obviously, it's quite a good investment if you are going to be going to school for next to nothing for the next few years. So one of the other companies is called Sports Recruiting USA, and they recruit men and women just like many of the other companies do. They also do other sports. They have assessment games that gives them a chance to see the players in person, that way they know where they can put them in the US. They have showcases, and they even have free sessions. So definitely check them out. Of course, with everything that you do and everything that you're going to be paying money for, make sure you really check out the company. There's so many. I will list a few more down in the description box, but make sure to check them out. Make sure you can see exactly what it is that they say they can offer for you. All right, so I hope that helps. There's really a ton of information out there, and there's a lot. It's a little overwhelming when you really think about all of the different rules and stuff like that. I didn't even touch on those. I didn't talk about official visits, unofficial visits, when coaches can talk to you and when they can't, certain things like that. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that in the next part of this video. So make sure you leave a comment about some stuff that you still have questions on, some stuff that you maybe want to see in the second part of this video. Make sure you check out thewilljohn.com because I'll have some information about college and going pro and all of that stuff as well. Training videos are coming. We'll talk about nutrition, working out, speed and agility, all that stuff that's coming in the future. So subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time. All right, later.